What factors should an entrepreneur consider when setting up and structuring a food processing company? Or should I say like a factory? Yeah, when setting up a factory.
So when we built our factory, we had to first of all consider location.
Okay.
Right? When I mean location, where is land available? Because of the idea of factory we had in mind. Because I want a situation where we have acres of land, we have big factory, everybody dreams big. So luckily myself and my business partner, my sister, although we have other shareholders and business partner, but we're the first founders and co-founders. And one other of our shareholders as well, we all had a land together somewhere.
Okay.
I'm going like, how is I going to go and buy another land somewhere to build a factory? That was what we had already. So we used that to build. Second thing to consider is the tax, the environment, the local government, the people there. You have to consider all these things. Like, it's just like we're going to go and build a factory in a place where the people there are notorious for stealing. You say that, this equipment is so heavy that who will carry it? It will shock you that they'll carry it. As in, like, so you just have to consider the security of the environment as well.
That's so funny.
It shock you. You will be wondering, where did they pass? Like, because it's their DNA now, they'll be very creative with their carrying of things. So those are kind of things you consider before setting up a plant. And the locality. Right? For example, our factory, we hire all our factory workers, all of them are indigents of the community where we are located. Now, this is also a form of CSR we do. It's like a give back thing. We're not going out to look for people. And yes, true. They don't have to spend much on transportation. So the staff turnover is not high because they're just walking to work. Do you get? Yeah. Unlike some of the reasons why we have high staff turnover, why people always try and go and look for more money in terms of paid and salary wise, because by the time they calculate how much they spend on transport, they calculate how much they spend on
the cost of living.
Do you understand? And they just I beg them for something that'll pay me more. But these people, they're just walking down to the factory. They walk back home. They're just fine. Oh, all right, they're okay. So those are kind of things. Those are kind of factors that you consider when you consider
like government taxes.
The government taxes, I mentioned the government taxes in the environment, what their policies are, and things like that.
And the traditions of the people.
And the traditions, just like how one gets scolded for about. I was going to say that just like me going to get set up in Ikorodu now. They do a lot of war in Ikorodu.
Yeah.
So imagine I got set up and when they're doing their festival, my factory's closed. They can't produce.
Can't do anything.
And she was like, that is going to affect my business. Because what if I have this huge order, and I can't fulfill that because of the festival, I have to close up. Those kind of things we need to put into consideration.
Okay. How can food processing companies maintain quality standards, especially along the supply chain, sourcing of raw materials, packaging materials, and all of that?
First thing first, it's important to always have backup plan. Like if, for example, you get, let's say tomatoes now, you get tomatoes from a particular farm, and something happens to the farm, and you've not yet sourced for a second supplier. You now be stuck in getting tomatoes anywhere. So let's say tomatoes normally they're like this big, but because they're getting anywhere, they're messy. The tomatoes that they're selling is like this small. You don't get the value of what you're getting this big. So even though you have a vendor, it's important that you have also sourced other people that can give you similar results in case of a rainy day, or you be buying from both of them at the same time. That kind of thing. So it's important that can you repeat the question again?
How can you maintain quality standards?
So it's important that you do, like for gelato, for example, our water, we do tests often, even before production. You have to put a process in place. Like before production, test your water, test this, test that. With the source where you're getting your ingredient, make sure it's the same it gives you the same quality. Like now, one of our products, which is Babadudu.
Okay.
Imagine I buy Babadudu gelato. That's the flavor.
Yeah.
Imagine I buy Babadudu from where I buy, and the size is this small. And I know that I need 10 of that to put in one cup.
Okay.
But because it's this small, and the next day I go, it is this big, I'll now be confused. Like, how many do I now need to enter the cup? There's no consistency in it. So I have to tell my lady that, see, I'm patronizing you, but don't let me go somewhere else. So this is the specification I want. Please stick to it. I just but the one that is big is, it's more. It's kind of say, but I know it's more. I know you're trying to do me good favor by trying to increase the size, but this is size I need. Let's stick to it because I've already calculated my own production based on that. Do you understand? So that's the only way. And like now, I before we started rolling, I already told you about this situation I had with supermarkets that has to do with their freezing because of our product. And we had to discontinue supplying some supermarkets. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions. So we have to discontinue supplying them because we find out that some supermarkets turn off their freezers at night. We are a frozen dessert. We do ice cream, for goodness sake. Why would you turn off your freezer at night? Everybody that takes ice cream know that once your ice cream starts melting, first the quality changes, quantity reduces. And even if the freezer comes back on, it's going to freeze what are the damage already. It will never go back. So we had to discontinue because it was affecting our brand. And we only source for supermarket that we know. As we're coming to you and you like the product, oh yes, supply. Sorry, we have one more question to ask, sir. Do you turn off your light at night? If they say yes, sure. But sorry, we can't supply you. And we move on. If they say no. So that's why we've been trying to, like we discussed, we're trying to do a lot of direct selling directly to customers because we can control the quality of our products, the consistency. We can control the storage. We can control that ourselves, unlike giving it to other people because you have to be in your mouth. Because if a customer should not message you that, oh, I bought a product at the supermarket, before I read the next line, my heart is already before I read the next line, I know what's coming. My heart's already hitting fast until when I say, oh, it was really good. Okay. Or it was, you need to go and check what they're stocking before it spoils your brand. You're like, yeah. So all these things, you have to like put your eyes out and monitor to make sure that.
So it even means that even aside checking with even your suppliers, you even have to check with
your distributors.
Wow. Okay. From your experience, what would you say are the most valuable skills? The most valuable skills needed to run a food processing company.
You need to learn how to listen to people because sometimes it's easy to drown your employee's voice and say, "What do you know?" But you will find out that their advice is actually quite valuable. I made mention about one mistake I did a couple of years ago.
Yeah. One
of my factory workers actually told me that it is a terrible idea. And I kept on saying, why is it a terrible idea? This is. And because the man, for the level of this company, that is a terrible idea. I'm telling you, I wish I listened. I wish I listened. And it's not with the company anymore to say I told you so, but my mind is telling me I told you so on his behalf. So I've learned that listen to everybody, even the security, because they are saying what you're not saying. I know in a food processing company, you tend to have a lot of employees. You tend to, except if it's a very small one.
Okay.
But if it's a very small one, but at least it's not going to be a one-man business, no matter what, as a food processor. Because you need someone to help with the packaging, you need someone to help with the processing. At the end of the day, it's still not going to be a one-man business. So it's important because they are saying things you're not saying. Because you are very passionate. They are just, it's for the paycheck. So they are seeing things more objectively. So it's good to listen to them. And also, be patient, because I mentioned before, it's food processing company. We work on minimum profits. You're not trying to. It's like the Igbos, they'll make 20 naira in multiple places because they know it's going to come back. But I'm Yoruba, but I'm dissing myself. We Yoruba people who want to make 2,000 naira. Instead of taking want to make it once. But in food processing, in manufacturing companies generally, it's important that we just be patient and know that it's a game of numbers. Yeah, it's a game of numbers. The more you produce, the more you sell, the more profit you make. Do you understand? So it's just don't be too anxious to want to hit it. But then again, when you make it, you keep going up. Like, because word of mouth go around. I mean, tested this product. You'll be sourced after. Like, people be like wanting your products. Do you get? So just don't quit easily. Don't quit easily.
So is it safe to say what you should be going after should be getting your products out there? You know, when, like getting people to be aware of your products before you start thinking of profit. So you probably should be thinking, I'm just saying, I'm
agreeing with you because you're speaking the truth.
So is it safe to say that what you should be thinking about is getting your product out there, getting people to try out your products before you think? So that means you should be thinking of even when funding the company, then you should be thinking of what it would take to. It should be a thing of part-time, like, okay, what am I focusing on right now? I'm focusing on getting people to test the product, to try it out.
You do a lot of freebies at the beginning. You do a lot of freebies. It's important that people love your product first. If you splash into the market and people don't like your product, that first splash is going to be the only time you're going to make that money. Because the subsequent splashing, nobody's going to buy. So it's important that you focus on people liking your product and buying first. Then, so that's why you need to have a good financial plan. Very important, because a lot of people, a lot of business owners, we just say, 2 get 4. 2 divided by 4 divided by 2, okay, it's 2, it's fine. But they are not going to actually sit down and say, wait, count the 1, 1, 1. Just like when you spend, you're only spending 50 naira. Then later when you calculate all the 15 naira, you're like, what? I spent 50,000? Like we take these small coins for granted. So every coin should be planned out. Should be, you pace yourself. So when you are now putting out your product, you have the back of mind that I have 100,000 naira now. I need to give out products to sell. Okay, if one person likes this product, this one person will bring back 5 people. Then these 5 people can buy and give me money. But that one person that got the free product, I have to calculate it from that 100,000 naira that I have. So it's well think about pushing the product further. Just the reward comes from the 5 people that will now come back because of that one person. I didn't learn that on time, so yes.
It took a couple of mistakes.
It took a lot of mistakes. I didn't learn that on time, so now I know.
But that's one thing I've seen with because I was thinking about it a while ago, and I was like, what is it that I had, when I first started business that I don't have now? In terms of, because the truth is, there are good things that you have when you just start a business. There are good traits, kind of. You are very passionate and all that. But I feel like the more time you spend in business, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I feel like the more time you spend in business, it's not as if your passion dwindles, but you're not so quick to jump at.
Let me give you a life experience. I'll give you a life example. I first started as a baker. That's when I was in business school. That's when we met. I was baking cakes and things like that. I'll be passionate. You can call me at 2 a.m. to I need a cake tomorrow. I'm in the kitchen. I'm baking. I won't sleep. I'll, get the cake ready. A couple of years down the line, okay, not even up to a couple of years. By the time, maybe let's say a few months down the line, if you call me at 2 a.m. and say, I need cake, that passion is not there. I'm like, I'm so sorry, we're closed. Can you reorder tomorrow morning? Because I have a lot of responsibility or a lot of things, a lot of struggle. The economy is not helping. Things are just, and you're calling me at 2 a.m. I need my sleep to bake cake. So the zeal, after a while, started really going down. Before, I was doing it for the love of it. Now that I'm doing it for business, then, sometimes you underestimate the stress of running a business. You think Shebi is to, be creative and money come in, money go out. There's not money coming, money go out.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. That's like you start realizing you're carrying so many load on your head, like so much load, and you just start thinking, you start losing yourself. Have you met a businesswoman, or you see, you meet a group of women?
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I can tell the ones that are doing business, and I can tell the ones that are underpaid employment.
Really? The attitude is different.
The attitude is different. The outlook in general is different. I'm telling you, I can tell the difference. Even if they are wearing the same wig, they are doing the same, they have the same makeup, but I could tell there's just a difference. You just know, because there's nothing wrong in paid employment, but there's peace of mind in paid employment. So you can tell that wherever this person is discussing with you, she's pacing, she's talking. A business person, when she's talking, like she is with fire, because she needs it, because she knows that she has to run on that to survive. So you can tell the difference. Definitely can tell. So it's
because the passion makes you think it's just 2 + 2 that will give you 4. But as you spend more time in business, you understand that it doesn't work like that.
And you not be wishing, should I go back to paid employment? Like your brain starts working more. And sometimes people do not bargain for the mental work that's
nobody. I think I was telling my brother like a while ago that if I knew, would I still have fine when you start, like there's this rush that comes from, like, you feel this rush from being an entrepreneur, but really if you knew before you went in that this is what I'm going to, you would think you would have like
you think properly. You think properly. Another thing that happened to me is that I didn't have like a concrete experience in working for people per se. Although I had summer jobs, but it was I started business straight out of uni. So I didn't have that solid structured background to know that these are the processes that need to be. So I was just doing things. So if I was going to advise, I think I'll leave that for later. I think there's a part that you said I should talk about. I'll leave that for later.